Psyche Truth, Life, Wisdom.
Hey, this is Courtney and you're watching Power Yoga for Beginners. This video is designed to increase your flexibility and range of motion for a beginner's Power Yoga practice. So we start standing at the top of your mat. Feet are hip width or just a comfortable distance apart. Hands beside your body. And we're going to begin with your arms stretched out to the sides. As you inhale, draw your arms overhead. This is a fairly simple movement, but this is our beginning movement for range of motion in our arms, shoulders, and neck. So as you're standing and opening your arms out wide, try and keep both hands in your vision so that you know you're not opening your arms way far back behind you, but you're creating a circle that you can actually see in front of you. So this is going to help free up the range of motion in our arms, shoulders, and neck, so that we don't run into places that are blocked, and also so that we're not avoiding places that are blocked. Right? We want to flow with the freedom. Range of motion is all about finding freedom to access your full spectrum. Now we're going to take your left hand to your left hip. Right arm extended out to the side. Flip your right palm up to the ceiling and stretch it overhead. So lateral stretch, opening up the right side body as your left side body stands in support. Now draw your right arm in front of your chest and let it flow out to the side again. And we'll circulate this arm a few times, just opening your right shoulder into a greater range of motion, into a full spectrum movement. Right hand on your hip now for the second side. Left arm, turn your palm up to the ceiling and inhale, arc over your side. So the left side body is stretching. And then trail down in front of you as you exhale and inhale to come around. Exhale to go back down and inhale to come around. Great. Both hands now on your hips. You can take your hands all the way behind your body. Make sure you're standing comfortably but firmly planted in your feet, with your hands supporting the back of your hips, a gentle bend in your knees so you feel power in your legs. We're going to spread the upper arms wide, draw the shoulder blades together on your back, and lift your heart so this sternum bone reaches straight up towards the ceiling as your shoulders dig into the back of your chest. This might be just where you want to be. Breathe a few breaths here. If you'd like to, extend your arms. Find that same range of motion where you can see your hands the whole time. Draw your palms together. Squeeze your forearms towards one another and lift through your chest. Nice heart opening to begin. Return your hands to prayer in front of your heart, chin to your chest. Relax the back of your neck. Relax your shoulders. Think good thoughts for yourself and for your practice. And then we're going to fold forward, bend your knees, bring your hands to the ground with your fingers outstretched so the full surface of your palm is on the mat. Step your feet back and lift your hips to downward dog. From downward dog, let's sway your spine by lifting your chest so you're reaching up over your arms, and then keep your arms floating up. but let your chest and your head flow back down. Again, inhale, look up over your arms. Keep your arms lifted in that direction as you pull your chest back through and let your head hang. All right, so can you see that? And can you feel that? Arms rising, chest floating back down. Walk your hands one by one to the back of your mat, knees gently bent, forward fold. Now look forward in front of your feet and walk your hands to the top of your mat once again. This time, let your body come long over the mat like a plank in plank pose. So your toes are tucked, shoulders are right over your hands, and we'll draw your right knee into your navel, step your foot down, and then step your left foot forward and come to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Let your arms travel in your vision through full range of motion. Exhale, fold back in. Hands to the mat, step back into downward dog. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, flow. Walk your hands back towards your feet. So you're stepping into your hands each movement. Forward fold. And then walk it back out. Plank pose. Draw your left knee in this time. Step your foot into the center of your mat. And step your right foot forward in between your hands. Come to fold over the top of your mat and rise. All right, how did that feel? That was just a warm-up vinyasa to get some energy built into your arms and your upper body, and also some flexibility in your legs, hamstrings, and feet, while generating that core stability in plank pose. Keep us strong. Let me know how it went, okay? Leave a comment below. Don't tell me it's already too hard, or you can tell me. Go ahead and let it out. If you're feeling too hard, let your voice be heard. Leave me a comment. Let me know. And let's do just one more, okay? Exhale, fold forward. Step back into downward dog. One by one, walk your hands back. If it's too hard, if you've left that comment, oh, this is too hard, how can you make it a little bit more playful? Bend your knees. Let yourself hang back here. Shake it out. And then walk forward into your plank pose. Extend out over your mat. Knee in. Step your way to the top of your mat. Feel the energy in your body waking up, empowering your life, and rise to stand. Was it so hard that time? I hope not. We want to have a little bit of fun with all of this, okay? From here, we're going to come down into our first lunge. So with your hands down on your ground, keep your right foot where it is, and step your left foot straight back into a runner's lunge. From a runner's lunge, lower your knee. Relax. So in this position with our knee down, we can access a little bit more flexibility in our hips by shifting our pelvis towards our front heel. And then, so we don't just burn out right here, we want to pull our pelvis back towards our back heel and lengthen this front leg. It doesn't have to be all the way straight. We're not worried about the outside form. We're concerned about the full spectrum of movement. So right now we're just focusing on the pelvis and the hips, pulling back. Don't worry about the leg in front of you. Just pull back through your hips. It feels different when you don't focus on the pain, so you focus on the movement. Focus on the motion. So forward towards your front heel and back to your back heel. Shifting the pelvis forward. Step into your front foot. Shift the pelvis back. Pull away from the front foot. Nice. Then come forward into your full runner's lunge again. Stepping into both feet. Shoulders back. Chest forward. Big breath in. Smile and exhale. Tell yourself it might be hard, but we're also going to make it fun. Fold back into your standing forward fold. Hands to the ground. Now keep your left foot forward and step your right foot back. Runner's lunge. Drop your back knee to the mat. Relax. Let your hips sink to the ground and let your pelvis shift forward towards your front foot. Now exhale, pull your hips back towards your back heel. Let your front leg just dangle out in front of you. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale. Shift forward. Rise into a full runner's lunge. Take a breath. Feel both feet rooted into the ground. Both shoulders pulling back onto the back of your chest. And step forward to the top of your mat. You're going to rise to stand here. Inhale, open your arms overhead so that you can see them. And exhale, dive back down. You're going to take that first mini vinyasa again. So with your hands to the mat, step your feet into downward dog. Walk one hand at a time to your feet. So your arms are having to carry your body weight. Your legs and your hips having to relax and let the rest of your body flow towards them. And we step it out again, coming into Plankasana. And from Plankasana, draw one knee forward and walk your way to the top of your mat. Exhale over your legs. Inhale to stand. Flowing back forward. Keep your right foot in front of you and step your left foot back. This time, as you lower your knee down, you're also going to walk your front foot out to the edge of your mat and bring both hands on the inside of this front foot. We have the same movement of the hips, shifting forward, straight through the center, and gently pulling back. But this time we're not going to pull the hips all the way back. We're just going to pull them back to the very beginning. And then shift your hips forward and gently pull your hips back. One more time, shift your hips forward. So this movement here is going to open up the inner thigh and inner hip of your front leg and open up the front of your hip and your back leg. So this gentle movement of shifting the hips forward and back is just giving your hip joint a little taste of the full range of motion, but we're not going into the full range now. We're just exploring this very beginning stage of motion in the hips. Come up off of your back knee, walk your front foot into a lunge, and step to the top of your mat. Now keep your left foot forward, right foot back, lower your knee, walk your left foot out to the edge of your mat. So both hands are on the inside of your front foot, just under your shoulders. Draw your hips back, shift them forward. Gently draw them back, and gently shift them forward. Focus on the inner thigh opening and the inner hip opening. You can walk your foot back to center, lift into your high lunge, step both feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale to forward fold. Downward dog. Step both feet behind you, hips to the sky. Let your hips dance as your hands walk all the way to the back of your mat. Forward fold and walk it out. Body long and strong, Plankasana. Knee in, step forward. Exhale over your legs. Inhale, rise to stand. Inhale, open your arms, circulate the full range of motion around your heart. And slow down over your legs. Keep your right foot forward and step your left foot back. So we've just opened up some space in your hips. I'd like for you to pivot your back heel down into your mat and point your toes open towards the side edge. Now take your hands again on the inside of this front foot and walk them out a little further off the edge of your mat. As you walk your hands off, put some weight into your arms. Stretch your upper body into your hands and pull your hips back. Walking forward again into your lunge. Step to the top. Folding over. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Feet into downward dog. Hands walk back. Hands walk forward. How about we spice it up just a little bit here? Lower your knees. Bend your elbows and come to the ground. Unhook your toes with your hands just under your shoulders, fingers open wide, and roll your shoulders back away from your ears. Draw your shoulder blades in deeper to the back of your chest, and inhale to rise, opening your throat. And exhale, return to the ground. Pressing up and back into downward dog. And walking your feet to the top of your mat. Forward fold over your two legs and rise to stand. For our second side, flow down. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Pivot your back heel into your mat and walk your hands onto the inside of your front foot. Keep walking them. It's like creating a circle, an arc out over your mat. Press into your arms, pull back through your hips, and extend through both legs. Generating a little bit of strength and a little bit of flexibility and a lot of power. Is it too hard? Let me know. Get it out there. How are you feeling? Do you hate this pose? Do you love this pose? Oh, I hope you like it. I love that one. It's so freeing. It's so invigorating for the whole body when you get to release tension and build strength at the same time. Forward and fold. Let's take a complete vinyasa one more time here. So let's step your feet back into downward dog. Our mini vinyasa here, walking your hands to your heels just to build that strength in your arms, that lift through your heart, and that mobility through your hips and your legs. Plank pose, body long and strong. Lower all the way to the ground. This is beginner's power. Lower your knees. Draw in on your hips. Bend your elbows back. And then slither out onto the tops of your feet. Shoulders back, heart forward, throat open. Cobra pose. Exhale, forehead down to the ground. Twice more with Cobra. Inhaling, opening, and exhaling. Coming to the ground. Inhale, dig down through your knuckles, and then come all the way back to the ground. Good. Press into downward dog. And step one knee in. And bring it all the way back to the top. Forward folding. Reach your arms open. Inhaling to rise. And exhale, hands to your heart. Got one more series for you. Time we're going to rise all the way up into Warrior Two. Are you ready? Inhale to rise with your arms overhead. Exhale to forward fold. Let's keep your right foot forward, left foot back. Again, pivot your heel into your mat. And since we're rising into Warrior Two this time, I want you to double check that your heels are in line with each other and that they're not crisscrossed. You see what I'm saying? This will be happier for your hips. You have your heels in line with each other. If your hips are already really unhappy, you can keep your feet even wider apart. Have even more space between your heels. All right, the left hand, bring it back behind you onto your left hip. This thigh is going to be open towards the side of your mat, side of your room, side of your space. Right arm is going to fly up overhead. And then we'll balance out with your arms parallel to the ground in Warrior Two. So range of motion. Let's explore the range of motion here in Warrior Two. To do that, you're going to keep the left hand on the back leg and arc your right arm again over your ear. Turn your chin towards the ground here. And then bring your right elbow on top of your right thigh and swing your left arm in front of your face. Yeah, this gets hard, doesn't it? Oh, there's strength in those legs. Stand in that strength. Left hand back to your hip. Use your back leg to support you as you stretch your right side body open. Last time. And then we'll come down. Extend your left arm out. All right, now come down, both hands. Oh yes. Back into downward dog. Ooh, walk your hands back. Oh, and let it be playful. Walk your hands forward. Plank pose. Lower to the ground. Unhook your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Downward dog. Draw a knee in. Step your 2 feet forward. Exhale over your legs. Rising to stand. Arms stretching up and flowing back in. Left foot is forward. Right foot steps back. From your runner's lunge, drop your back heel into your mat. Check your feet. Heels are in one line or a little bit wider apart. Bring your right hand back to your right hip. So this thigh is open towards the side of the room. And then we're going to rise all the way up, left arm overhead, and balance into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Arms parallel, extending from the heart. Range of motion in the shoulders. Let's circulate your arms. Turn your chin down towards your right shoulder as you lift your arm alongside your left ear. And then prop your elbow on your thigh as you extend your right arm out across the sky. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now come right to the ground. Stand in your arms. Back into downward dog. Hands. Walk back to your rocking legs. Folding over. Extending out into plank pose. Coming all the way down to the ground. So we've warmed up in our cobras. We're going to take this into one more powerful form of cobra in the same family. We have locust pose, where we're actually not using our arms at all. Well, we are using our arms, just not on the ground. You're using your arms to pull back away from your head. Keep your shoulders onto the back of your chest. If you'd like to, interlace your fingers and make a basket. Stretch out through your 10 toenails. Fire up your thighs. Hug your sacrum into your body and lift your heart. Open your throat. Then release and draw your hands out in front of you. Turn to look down to the mat so you don't crink up your neck. And again, open your arms. This gets hard too. Oh, but flow with it. Feel it all the way out through your toenails. If you're getting bundled up in your lower back, pull through your legs, pull through your chest. Really stretch yourself to your own fullest spectrum. Rise into cobra or upward dog. And then return your hips back into downward dog. Nice work, you guys. Walk your feet forward. And let's have a seat on the ground. So how are you feeling now? I know that was a little difficult. Builds a lot of strength in your arms. I'm feeling it too. My arms, my chest might be a little bit sore tomorrow, and that's a good thing, always. Oh, the yoga sore is the best. There's a difference. Can you feel the difference between being sore from doing yoga and being sore from doing other activities? Yoga really infuses your whole body, so it can be a really good, blissful sore. Intense. Let's lay down onto your back. Grab your heels with your hands. And for bridge pose, we're going to take a little beginner's variation of bridge pose and just let the posture open and flow, all right? So step your feet down. And as you step your feet down, you can lift your hips up and then lower your hips back to the ground. Okay, so all that difficulty now is starting to feel a little bit better. It's always nice just to lay down. Things get too hard. Okay, this might be exactly what you want to stay with. You're like, okay, this is good stuff. If you want to go a little further, if you don't have any injuries in your neck, you can lift your hands straight up to the sky as you're lifting your hips. Oh, this is nice and fun, relaxing. Just gives a sensation of your hips flowing, just like you're floating on a salty body of water. And your shoulders drop down into the ground, relaxing all this power we've been building in our arms. Let it root itself. If you're feeling free to explore more range of motion, draw your arms over the crown of your head. And that will probably lift your hips a little higher. And we're going to return back that same pathway to the ground. And again, inhale, rise. Find your full spectrum. Your full spectrum might be right here. And then you're like, okay, let's come back down. Your full spectrum might be here. Your full spectrum might be here. Just flow on your full spectrum one more time. Enjoy. Nice. Feet to the edges of your mat, knees together, palms open, either to the ground or to the sky. Let your hands be relaxed. Now let's move into a couple of twists. We'll keep your feet wide. You shift your knees over to the right side so they stagger like little windshield wipers. We'll go back and forth. From the left side to the right side, twisting it out. Go deeper into your twist by extending your opposite arm far away from you. draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze and roll up. So we're rolling up, extend your legs straight out in front of you. So you're rocking up into a seat. You can move the flesh away from your sitting bones. Extend out through your feet and extend up through your arms. Full body power. Use all that energy. All that stuff that was really hard that I saw your comments. This is hard. Use that strength. Ignite it here and sit into the ground. Oh yes, it can be an easy seat. But you can tell me if it's really hard too. I understand. That's why we practice. And that's why we favorite the video and we keep watching it and we keep following along. Even when it gets difficult, it always feels better once we get into the practice, right? So we're coming to a final close. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees butterflied open so you have a nice diamond shape here with your legs. And I'm just going to fold into it. So hinging from your hips. If this is a little bit more flexibility than you're comfortable with at this point, stay upright. Put a couple blocks underneath your knees. Get a big pillow. Here, I have a blanket. Let's see. You can lay the blanket out over your feet and just make a nice little resting place for yourself. So all that power that we generate as we come to a close, still alive inside of us. We're just letting it integrate into a place of relaxation. You can choose to butterfly your legs out into that diamond shape again. And when you're ready, extend out into Shavasana. Out of Shavasana, flutter your eyes open, flutter your fingers and your toes. Stay with that nice, easy feeling. Let your thoughts flow. Rise up into a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for practicing. I hope you feel powerful. And like you've explored a little bit of your full spectrum and your range of motion. And exploring our full spectrum, we always run into something that inhibits us, something that quite isn't maybe grown out completely. So those are the good places too. Those are the spots we're going to continue to nurture and continue to come back to. Again, favorite this video, like it, leave me a comment, tell me how you did. I'd really like to hear. And check me out on my website, yogacurrent.com, and you can follow me along to Sri Lanka in a month or two. I'm going to take a big trip out over there, which should be a lot of fun. And subscribe to Psyche Truth, because we'll be uploading a lot more videos from me and from all the other awesome Psyche Truth instructors. So I look forward to seeing you more. Namaste.